Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button below. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to Katie.Pix. Today I'm getting my veggie on with two delicious vegetarian tart recipes for you. Lunch, dinner, whatever you fancy, you're not going to be able to resist, and you can top them how you like. But today I'm going to go for a classic Italian tomato, basil and mozzarella tart, and a lovely, sweet, luxurious caramelised onion and goat's cheese tart. Should we get cooking? All right. Right, so we've got ourselves a pre-rolled sheet of puff pastry. I love making puff. It is a very nice, happy pastime, but it does take... So don't feel embarrassed, don't feel ashamed. Buy yourself some pre-pack puff pastry, and we're going to cut this in half and make 2 tarts out of this. So it should be enough for about 4 people, or 2 if you're feeling particularly greedy. It's up to you. So I'm just going to cut right down the middle of this. So we've got 2 even tarts. I'm going to pop 1 sheet onto one greaseproof on a baking tray. And I've also preheated my oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Centigrade, C. There we go, lovely. Now I'm also going to just take a knife and I'm going to create a little border, just give about 1 centimetre of border. A is a guide for us to put our fillings in, but also it's going to help in the oven to let that border rise properly. Because sometimes if you don't give it a little incision, it's going to basically slump in with your ingredients. So, not all the way through, semi-pressure, but we're just going to do a light score down the side and create a box within our pastry. Okay, so we're going to start off with our onion. So I've got 1 onion here, and I'm just going to cut it into half moons because I want it to keep its lovely shape. That's all done. I've not cried yet. We're going to pop a frying pan on a nice high heat. When you're caramelising your onions, you want that heat nice and high because you want those natural sugars to catch and caramelise rather than stewing them. Don't need no soft onions. Gonna put in a little bit of oil in there and our onions. And to that pan, I'm also gonna add a nice glug of balsamic vinegar. This is gonna go super sticky with those onions. Gonna go in with about 2 teaspoons. We're also gonna add in some salt. That's gonna help that moisture come out and get even more caramelised. So a nice little pinch of good quality salt in there too. And to finish that off, we're also gonna add in 3 sprigs of thyme. Take your sprig stalk, run down it. So whilst those are doing their thing, we're going to prepare our other tart, which is our very simple tomato and basil and mozzarella. Very, very Italian, very classic. So I've got here a couple of different tomatoes. These amber tomatoes are just my favourite thing. Ooh. So we're going to just take a nice handful of each of them. I love them on the vine because it means you're going to get much more flavour. I'm going to add on a teaspoon of tomato paste. So you should just pop that on, smooth it through, almost a bit like creating a bit of a pizza, aren't we? I was always so good at colouring between the lines and I've just gone straight over my border. I'm so upset. So normally our instinct is this is your top of tomato, that's your bottom, is to cut straight across, keeping it like so. What I want you to do is actually to turn it onto its side, and you're going to cut from the top to the bottom. That way it's going to hold its shape that little bit better. And you want to slice it into not too fat, but not too thin. So helpful. About ½ centimetre slices. Keep an eye on them onions as well, because they've got a mind of their own. So once you've chopped up your tomatoes, it's time to start. In fact, let it be you. Back to it. So once you have finished cutting your tomatoes, I'm also going to cut up some slices of mozzarella, and I'm going to bury everything in between one another on our pastry. Now, mozzarella, tomatoes, both quite liquidy things. So if you can lose some of that liquid, great. So do give it a bit of a shake off. You can even tear it up. Nothing fancy about this, just delicious flavour. Okay, so start layering up. Make sure, as I say, shake off some of those excess juices. Let's go with a bit of the old, let's get some of that in. Lovely. Give my onions a little stir. Oh yeah. Now we're just going to season up on this one. Nice pinch of salt, lovely, and some pepper as well. Be generous with the pepper. Now I know I said basil as well. You can put it on at this point, but I choose not to because I quite like my basil to stay lovely and fresh. If you put it into the oven now, it's going to wilt, and I want to keep that freshness. So save your basil till it's out of the oven. Our onions are so nearly there. So to be sure I'm ready for this one, I'm just going to slice up some goat's cheese. I eat goat's cheese pretty much every day. That's not even a lie. Oh my God, it's so creamy. So our gorgeously rich goat's cheese is sitting there, it's melting, it's letting itself go. We've got our caramelized onions that are looking beautiful. So now I'm gonna grab our onions. Let's pour them straight on. Oh my God. We're gonna sit that goat's cheese on top as well. And again, now there's a lot of saltiness in that goat's cheese, and also with the onions and the vinegar, you're not going to need a lot of salt to that. So I'm actually going to leave it as salt-wise, but I am going to crack some pepper on it. Now I'm going to finish both of these off with a small drizzle of oil on top of your fillings. And I've also got a little bit of egg here that I'm just going to whisk up. I just like how it gives that little glossy finish to the edge of your pastry. Just paint the border. And then this is going to go into your preheated oven at 180 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes, or until you see that your puff pastry has fully risen and gone beautifully golden. Okay, in we go. Ta-da! How good do they look? I'm so excited. I'm so hungry. Let's give it a go. Crunch. This one first, methinks. Look at that beauty. Gorgeously crispy and flaky puff pastry. Glossy goat's cheese and caramelised onion topping. It's tangy. It's cheesy. It's delicious. Okay, that one's gonna have a tough time. Oh my goodness. Oh yes. Oh, if I could speak Italian, I would throw a slurry of beautiful words at you. Both of those are amazing. I want to hear your topping ideas, and make sure you get them in the comments box below. If you like this recipe, guys, why not give a few others a try, and maybe subscribe so you don't miss one next week. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.